one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it, because you can.
This story comes to us from the Associated Press, where a California man with a history of political violence was sentenced yesterday to 20 years in prison for repeatedly attacking police with flagpoles and other makeshift weapons during that January 6, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol. Remember that one? David Nicholas Dempsey. His sentence is among the longest among hundreds of Capitol riot prosecutions. Prosecutors described him as one of the most violent members of the mob of the Donald Trump supporters that attacked the Capitol building as lawmakers met to certify Joe Biden's 2020 presidential election victory. Dempsey, who is from Van Nuys, California, stomped on police officers' heads. He swung poles at officers defending a tunnel, struck an officer in the head with a metal crutch, and attacked police officers with pepper spray and broken pieces of furniture, according to prosecutors. He climbed atop other rioters, using them like a human scaffolding, to reach officers guarding a tunnel entrance. He injured at least 2 police officers, prosecutors have said. Now, quote, "Your conduct on January 6th was exceptionally egregious," says U.S. District Judge Royce Lamberth. He went on, "You did not get carried away in the moment." Basically, you're done. Dempsey pleaded guilty in January of this year to 2 counts of assaulting police officers with a dangerous weapon. Only former Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio has received a longer sentence in that January 6 riot. Tarrio was sentenced to 22 years for orchestrating a plot to stop the peaceful transfer of power from Donald Trump to Joe Biden after that 2020 presidential election. Remember that happened, man. Dempsey called his conduct reprehensible and apologized to the officers whom he assaulted. He said, "You were performing your duties, and I responded with hostility and violence." That is what he said before learning of his sentence. That's 20 years. Justice Department prosecutors recommended a prison sentence of 21 years and 10 months for Dempsey, a former construction worker and fast food restaurant employee. They said Dempsey's violence was so extreme that he attacked a fellow rioter who was trying to disarm him, prosecutors wrote. Some guy trying to help out. David Dempsey is political violence personified, says Assistant U.S. Attorney Douglas Brasher. Now, defense attorney Amy Collins, who sought a sentence of 6 years and 6 months, described the government's sentencing recommendation as ridiculous. She said, "It makes him a statistic. It doesn't consider the person that he is, how much he has grown." Okay. Dempsey was wearing a tactical vest that day, a helmet, and an American flag face gaiter, covering on his face, when he attacked police at a tunnel leading to the lower west terrace doors of the U.S. Capitol. He shot pepper spray at Metropolitan Police Department Detective Fuson Nguyen, just as another rioter yanked the officer's gas mask. Quote, "The searing spray burned Detective Nguyen's lungs, throat, eyes, and face, and left him gasping for breath, fearing he might lose consciousness and be overwhelmed by the mob," prosecutors wrote. Dempsey then struck Metro PD Sergeant Jason Mastoni in the head with a metal crutch, cracking the shield on his gas mask and cutting his head. Jason says, "I collapsed and caught myself against the wall as my ears rang. I was able to stand again and hold the line for a few more minutes until another assault by rioters pushed the police line back away from the threshold of the tunnel." Mastoni, of course, submitted that statement to the court as evidence or testimony. Dempsey has been jailed since his arrest in August of 2021, but his criminal record in California includes convictions for burglary, theft, and assault. The assault conviction stemmed from an October 2019 gathering near the Santa Monica Pier, where Dempsey attacked people peacefully demonstrating against then President Donald Trump, prosecutors said. They say, quote, the peaceful protest turned violent as Dempsey took a canister of bear spray from his pants and dispersed it at close range against several protesters. And prosecutors noted that Dempsey was sentenced to 200 days of jail time for that incident. Now, Dempsey engaged in at least 3 other acts of vicious political violence that didn't lead to criminal charges for various reasons, according to prosecutors. They said Dempsey struck a counter-protester over the head with a skateboard at a June 2019 rally in Los Angeles, used the same skateboard to assault someone at an August 2020 protest in Tahunga, California, and attacked a protester with pepper spray and a metal bat during an August 2020 protest in Beverly Hills, California. This dude just hates protesters, don't he? But he is a protester, right? January 6th. More than 1,400 people have been charged with the January 6th related federal crimes. Over 900 of them have been convicted and sentenced, with roughly 2/3 receiving terms of imprisonment ranging from a few days to the 22 years that Terrio received. And now, of course, Dempsey has got 20 years. The thing about it, though, on this Capitol riot thing, a lot of them were looking into security cameras. Hey, how you doing? And they were all proud, walking. They're easily identified. Over the 1,400 charged, 900 have been convicted. That's a lot. It's been 3.5 years, and they're still convicting people. Look, if you were there, I think your days are coming. And then they had the one guy who sat in the office and put his feet up on Pelosi's desk. What do you guys think was going to happen? You went into the United States Capitol, where they got cameras all up and down the hallways, at every turn, in every doorway. And you guys thought you were just going to go in there and what? Protest? Hey, it's our right. It's our building. Yeah, but it's the U.S. government. You know what I mean? So you're playing marbles with an agency, the U.S. government, that holds the whole bag of marbles. You ever watch Squid Games? But here, I just want to know, what do you guys think about this guy getting 20 years? And what do you think about Terrio, the Proud Boys guy, getting 22 years? He was not a crook. But no, I don't know. But some of you younger people will go, what does that mean? Yeah, Google Nixon. Okay, boys and girls? Us older folks know what that means. Anyway, I'm very chatty and you're very catty. I don't know. But what do you guys think about the 20-year sentence or Terrio getting 22 years? Let me know. And it looks like they got about 500 more people to go.